Good evening. It's Professor Damo here. I know what you're thinking. Damo, you've had some work done. You're looking good. Yes, it's true. Once again, Topher, the lazy slack ass that he is, has abandoned us and has left me to take over the show. So I'm going to do the best possible job that I. How am I doing?
Hey, what are you doing? You're stealing my light. You're stealing my hat. Isn't it bad enough you already stole my lighters as well?
Sorry, excuse me. Stole your light.
How many years has it been?
What lighters?
Year and a bit.
What lighters?
Well, that's what I want to know. I haven't seen them for years.
No, what lighters? I have no idea what you're talking about. Listen, I was just trying to do an homage. I was just trying to give our viewers the authentic Damo experience, which, as best as I can tell, is just basically whinging about me. It's a bit of a whinge.
There's a bit more skill and complexity to it. It does require Omar, who hasn't shown up yet.
Well, look,
Omar, he's missing in action.
Omar is back to his old ways. So how about we'll rag on Omar instead of each other?
That's it. Look, that sounds like a plan. He's a slacker.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he's looking for the cigar. He might have smoked it already. He's probably driving around Sydney trying to find someone else. Maybe the cigar man Sam's trying to beg and plead one out of his pack.
Oh, dear. Look, I can be very brave insulting you when I'm at the other side of a keyboard, 10 hours drive away. But now that we're side by side, I think we should just call a truce.
Yes.
And in fact, you know what? In the spirit of calling a truce, I brought you a gift.
That box
gift
looks
worthy
vaguely familiar.
No. This will change your life.
This is a bit like deja vu. I recollect seeing that box, but I can't actually remember seeing that box.
No, look, you've never seen it before. This is a gift from the bottom of my heart to show you just how much I truly value you. I brought you. Hang on, include the viewers. Come on, this is television.
The last time I saw these was at our first anniversary.
What do you mean?
Life Earth in Melbourne.
You saw these? You've never seen. This is a gift.
I thought when the borders got closed, I'd never see these again.
I've had these in my possession for these are vintage lighters.
Yes, I can see the age on them.
I've been holding on to these for ages as a special gift just for you.
I'm surprised there's still gas left in them.
Some people. I tell you, I drove all this way to give him admittedly his own cigar lighters back, and this is the response.
Well, look, not having them gave me a good excuse to go out and spend the money on my Prometheus Magna T lighter. So
you're welcome. Okay,
thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't have had this if it wasn't for you holding on to them for so long.
Well, there you go. All right, now we've been having a lot of fun, but all good things must come to an end because I am obliged. Hey, there he is. I am obliged to bring Omar onto the show. I'm very sorry about that because we were having fun. Definitely, it's just the rules. I have to. Omar, how are you?
What's that on the top of your head? I've not seen that before.
Yeah, that's
It's always been there.
Have you?
It's always no.
You had a doctor look at that, mate. That's that looks painful.
Yeah. Not as painful as you, but we'll get there.
You notice that like my beard has well and truly diminished, and Omar's has grown. I reckon he must have fossicked all the beard clippings out of my bin and stuck them on.
He's found what you lost. Omar, just want to say your parents must be proud of you. You're starting to look like a man.
Hey, I never had to try.
All right, boys, we do have to talk about this cigar. This is This is called the Cigar Professor, mate, not the Omar, Damo, and Topher chat show. We have to mention them a little bit, maybe once, and then we can move back.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so this is the Oliva Connecticut
Reserve Petit Corona.
Petit. Why do they have to have so many damn words in the name of a cigar? It's a cigar. However, I have to say, guilty as charged. I always love an Oliva, so when the chance to put this in to the pack came up, I said, yes, thank you very much, Damo. What do we know about this?
Not a lot, other than it is a bit more premium than their standard Connecticut being a reserve.
Yeah.
It indicates that they're using the higher end tobacco from their sorting.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, I was hoping that this would be a better representation of the Connecticut by Oliva compared to the Series O, was it? We had in the last.
This is the Series O in the reserve. So this is, as you say, the more premium pickings.
That's right. Yeah.
So I would hope that this is going to restore the honor of Oliva, which I will admit, it pains me to admit, but it was somewhat damaged buy that Oliva O.
Right.
I'm a bit of a
Well, look, I'm always one for giving people another chance and letting them shine through. And look, a shock horror. I don't personally like every Perdomo cigar that's on the market. There are some Perdomo cigars that look. There's just a couple there. The factory blend is one that I think it's an all right cigar, but I just really don't like it.
You heard it here first, folks.
So there you go.
Here first.
And I just wonder whether it could be the same with the Serie O Figurado that we had.
Yeah.
Whether that's maybe just not the right Vitola for the blend.
It's funny though, because speaking of the Perdomos, those 10th anniversary Figurados we had, that was a superb Vitola.
Yeah.
For those blends, I absolutely love
so
it.
much better than the other Vitolas, the straight Vitolas,
etc.
Yeah,
I came into that Oliva O thinking this is going to be a wonderful expression of a cigar that I do genuinely like. I like the Oliva O, but it just didn't hold its own.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What are your thoughts? Cuts, V's? What are you going to do, Omar?
Straight. This one's straight.
Straight cut. I think I'm going to try the punch.
I reckon I might try a punch as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally do it on something that's only a relatively modest.
I'm actually pulling out my Prometheus Magna T limited edition lighter, which the thing I like about it, apart from being an absolutely fantastic lighter, is in the bottom. You've got two punches, and one is about the same size as what we do, but it's got a bigger one for bigger ring gauge cigars. So you just carry the lighter in your pocket and you've got everything you need.
Yeah, but that lighter in your pocket, I mean, you might as well be, getting a heavy rigid license to be able to carry something.
It's not a travel lighter.
There is
theory method in the madness. One of the problems with a small lighter is you light one or two cigars and you're out of gas.
I feel you. Yeah.
This here, you can comfortably light about 7 or 8 cigars and not be out, and that's with a decent toasting. So
you can comfortably light 7 or 8 Disney princesses at Disney on Ice. And still have gas in the tank.
I'm a bit tight on this draw.
It's a bit of a tight draw, but I tell you what, the light up is super sweet. It is extremely sweet. It's beautiful.
I'm just massaging the head.
Topher's head? Sorry, what? What are you massaging?
Yeah, there's a reason I came here in person. I just wanted to experience that whole Sydney relationship thing for myself. My draw's fine, so I don't know what you're doing wrong.
User error. You put me off my game.
Well, look, every time
hijacking the start of the show has just put me off my game. I tell you,
every time I have an issue, you blame it on user error. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah,
sweet. I don't know if anyone has lit up yet, but this is very sweet.
The cold draw, beautiful and sweet.
Yeah,
lovely sort of fresh hay on the nose for me.
Oh, wow. It's got a mild gingery spice just come through, but it's super sweet. Like a cookie, almost like a sweet ginger cookie. Wow. This is good.
There's also a nuttiness in there as well.
Simon's figured it out. Omar's trying to get sponsorship from Advanced Hair.
Hey, Shane, how are you, brother?
Actually, there's a really tight knot in mine. Right there. Right where the band is. It feels like there's a little rock inside it.
Okay. Yeah. The pack feels quite tight on this, but this is not giving me any issues with my draw.
You know what I'm having to go for? Perfect draw.
If the knot's all the way up there, though, what are you going to do about that? Are you going to come at it from the head, or?
Yeah, it's.
Oh wow!
So this is the perfect draw, just so people can. And the best way to use the perfect draw is to basically drill in about the depth of the barbs and then pull it out and then go back in the same hole again and then double the depth and just keep going in until you hit the bit that you're trying to deal with. can see it. There you go. You can see some material came out. Let me see if that's any better. No. Haven't quite got deep enough into it yet. It's definitely pulled out a tight wad of leaf.
I'm getting that ginger nut flavor reference there, Omar, for sure.
It's must admit, it's the sweetness is absolutely phenomenal. It's phenomenally sweet, and there's a confusion. I was just like, is it creamy or dry? But you have a little bit of dryness afterwards, aftermath, after you finish with your first drop. It comes with a little bit of dryness, but it's pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Here we go.
Well,
some stem.
Yeah, looks like
quite a bit of stem actually.
Speaking of things that are pleasant and juxtaposing that with things that aren't, you may have noticed that I'm not in Melbourne right now.
No,
I know, right? You hadn't picked that up.
No, that went right past me.
Yeah, went right over your head, all the way up until I was able to steal your hat. Well, Daniel's asking the big questions here, and this is what I was getting to, because this is difficult for me to discuss. They say when in Sydney, do what the Sydney-siders do. And, well, I couldn't bring myself to drink tea with honey and a cup of cream. Nor was I going to lower myself to the fizzy bin juice after I had a disastrous... I had a disastrous...
I offered.
Hey, I tried back in Melbourne. I got some. I tried.
Yeah, but it wasn't Momar's fizzy bin juice.
It literally went on the sink. Literally, it sat in the fridge for over a month. None of us and no one that visited us wanted to touch it.
Look, Daniel, I'm sure Daniel's going to try some fizzy bin juice with Omar and me tomorrow and enjoy it. So he can report back next week and tell us how it is.
Daniel, do you want to be my friend or not? Think very, very carefully before you decide whether you like fizzy bin juice. That's all I'm saying. So the answer to the question is a nice big cup of concrete. No scotch, no kombucha, no cream in my tea, just a nice big mug of black tea. Nice. You know what? I reckon that's a pretty good pairing.
Yeah, well, I've got Earl Grey. I'm quite enjoying the pairing with that.
I've just reached my...
It's definitely got a ginger nut flavor to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's ginger. It's very sweet. I think I've reached my first third almost. And it has been continually getting deeper flavor with more nuts. Cookie-like crumb, which is sweet. Maybe there's a little bit of cinnamon and ginger there too. But it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Much better than the last Oliva we had.
Yeah. That one, I don't know what happened there. That didn't live up to my expectations.
Yeah. It's actually quite interesting because we know that marzipan is sort of like that bitter almond with sugar flavor. But this is almost, to me, giving me like a toasted hazelnut sugar flavor. Behind the ginger. So you get that ginger here. And then the finish is sort of almost like hazelnut sugar.
As foot smoke it's like those almonds, those sweet almond. What do you call them? You get them at the weddings with the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This foot smoke is very that. It's nuttiness with iced sweet.
The foot smoke is definitely more almond-like, but on the draw, I'm getting more hazelnut-like. Sort of more of that deep, dark, earthy note to the nuttiness.
Yeah, I think it is something nutty, and I think with the most closest I could feel is probably, you're right, hazelnut, but it's greatly sweet. It's immensely sweet. It's
sweet. I reckon this would pair well with coffee.
Yeah,
this would pair exceptionally well with coffee. Yeah.
I'm on a black tea
to make good coffee.
It is, isn't it? It's just if only. Thank you for the very, very well measured, delicate segue there that nobody would have noticed. If only there was an easy way to brew a good coffee. These are launching. Brew Australia is launching, and Damo is the mastermind behind the actual coffee itself. In here is one pre-packaged sachet of some of the most excellent coffee that you can make without needing an expensive espresso machine or something like that to help you. So if you've already got like the full-on espresso setup, you know what? Stick with that. Go with that. But if you're someone who's currently having to pay $5 a coffee from coffee shops, and half the time they're crap anyway, and sometimes you want to have one when coffee shops are already closed because you want to have a cigar, you need to go to brewaustralia.com or Brew Australia on all the social media channels. We are launching this coming week, so check that out.
You know where I always want a decent cup of coffee? Is on a flight.
Correct.
Coffee on a flight is absolutely crap.
It's atrocious.
It's terrible.
I'll tell you what, though, you know what the risk would be? If you were to start making yourself one of these on an aeroplane, the other passengers would smell it and there would be a rebellion on the plane. They would literally, they would be ripping down the hand carts and throwing the coffee out of those pots and saying, where do I get this stuff? That's what I want.
Well, there you go.
You'd have a mutiny.
You get yourself a contract with the airlines to provide these.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be good. But literally, you can make it anywhere where you've got hot water. If you've got hot water, you can make it literally. If you're on a plane, you grab one cup of hot water and another empty cup, and you can make yourself a beautiful cup of brewed coffee.
I reckon you could probably do it single cup and sort of do the dunk and plunge method. Maybe it'd be worth trying.
That would work.
Wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, to get the best out of it, I think you've got to just do the.
I'm just thinking, it's a
2.5
bit of turbulence and trying to pour the water. I can't believe the ginger in this cigar. It's probably the most ginger-like cigar I think we've ever smoked out of all those cigars.
Omar?
Sweet ginger.
Yeah.
We have had ginger, but not sweet. It's
not this amount of ginger.
Not this much ginger. No.
And I actually quite like ginger. It's one of a different favorite flavor of mine. So I love it. So in Asian cooking, when you get like a dish with ginger and there's all these little like tiny matchsticks of ginger. I love dishes like that. Love eating all the pieces of ginger. You're racking your brain for whether you've tried that sort of Chinese there, Omar, or?
No, I'm actually. It's got a bit of a change coming through now, and I was like, what is it? But I'm drinking black tea as well, just like Topher.
Yeah, good man. See, I told you you're turning into a man.
I always have been. I put like 250 grams of cream in it.
So it's not black anymore, is it? It's not black tea.
So are you going to do that for Daniel tomorrow when Daniel turns up? You're going to make him one of your cups of cream?
That's it.
Just embarrassing.
Daniel might not turn up now after he's heard all this tonight. He's ringing up his people who's coming up. Hey guys, I'm actually changed my mind. I'm not coming up now.
No, Daniel, don't stop. Just drive all the way through Sydney and get the hell out of Dodge. Okay, just keep heading north. Don't stop. All right. So this is the Oliva. I just went and double checked because someone made a comment there, and I was like, oh, hang on. So this is not part of the O series. It's got the O on the wrapper, which is annoying. Which is why I thought it was an Oliva O Connecticut. It's not. They're both Connecticut wrappers. The Oliva O is a Connecticut, and this is a Connecticut. But even though they have the O on the wrapper, this is not part of the Oliva O range. So I apologize for having mistaken this for part of the O range. It's not. They're both Connecticut's. And this is known for a milder flavor profile than the
I thought Oliva O is a Habano range.
Not according to what I just looked up. I was double checking myself after the comment, and I was like, oh, that's odd. And so according to what I just read on the Oliva website, what have we got here? Oliva O, handmade in Esteli, Nicaraguan and sun-grown Habano binder, filler, and a Connecticut wrapper. So even the commenter said that it was a pure Habano. It's not.
They must have changed something more recently because
possibly.
I have had saying that Oliva OC was meant to be Habano.
Okay, well we're gonna have to take that as a question on notice and come back next week. It seems there is some confusion amongst the cigar professors and on the internet about exactly what makes up the Oliva O range.
Because I have specifically bought smoked Oliva O, which were Habanos, unless there is like recent change in the last year or so, or two,
Don't know.
possibly, which is not a big
To the
deal.
bottom of it. We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll report back next week. I'm not going to spend tonight on the internet. I'm just going to enjoy the cigar because it is a lovely cigar.
I'm starting to get a little bit of a black pepper on the finish as well now. That ginger's getting a little bit more black pepper-like.
I just dropped my ash.
Yeah.
Same here.
Ash
But I'm
champion
half the way through,
today.
though. But I'm half the way through.
It's because you got no self-control, obviously. See, what this strikes me as, we talk sometimes about a good breakfast cigar, etc. This strikes me as a good breakfast cigar.
Mm.
You could start your day. It's not going to take up too much time. Right? You get out there. It's a nice morning. You make yourself your morning cup of coffee. You make yourself your morning cup of tea, whatever it is that you drink. You sit out there. You enjoy this, maybe half an hour. And then I reckon that's a great way to kick your day off.
See, this size cigar is just about the right size for Omar from when he walks out the front door till he gets in the car and then lights up his next one.
Well, that's why he keeps a stash in the car.
Yeah.
It's just because it's hard for him to get all the way there and not have already finished his cigar.
Yeah.
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 I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm also starting to get some woody notes coming through. That nuttiness is tending a little bit more woody.
Stuart, welcome to the show. Nice to have you with us. Just pulled up. So Stuart's come up to Sydney with me, and him and a mate of his and mate of mine now, Tim, are helping me out at the CPAC conference tomorrow. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna get in nice and fast. I'm taking the question on notice, and we'll get it answered in 1 week instead of 6. There, Daniel. That's just the kind of man I am. Now, would you stop showing off, please?
I'm getting a little bit. So what I'm finding is that ginger note for me at the moment is just morphing. So you know how you've got sort of like the flavor of ginger, but then you've also got the spice heat of ginger. The spice heat is turning more black pepper for me, but the ginger flavor itself has become a little bit sour for me, and it's giving me a little bit of a sort of almost like a citrus zest note to it.
See, I'm one of those people when I have sashimi, sushi, whatever it may be, it's basically the sashimi is a vehicle for transporting ginger into my mouth. I'm just layering slabs of ginger on top.
Oh, good man.
So I'm actually really, really enjoying this. And it is turning a bit more sour, I agree, but I'm actually loving it.
Oh,
I'm
a great
this
stick.
is, I've not had this flavor in a cigar ever before. And I'm just sitting here going, I could have this with like lunchtime sushi and it would just be like, perfect.
I think so too.
That is not a sentence I ever expected to say.
When you say you never had this flavor before, I'm assuming that like what 3 cigars you smoked in your whole entire freaking life.
Listen, mate. I've had.
What are you trying to say?
Hang on. Credit where credit is due. I've had at least 5.
Oh, I thought it was 3.
Settle down. I'm going to try and delicately take the band off and preserve my ash because we've all got our ash still, don't we? Don't we, Omar?
I think when I dropped it was more than half the way through, so you're not there yet. So relax.
I'm half the way through.
Topher, what's your day like tomorrow?
Get to the convention center early in the morning.
Yeah.
Get set up all the hoodies and t-shirts, all the brew coffee samples. If you want a free one of these, you just got to come to the CPAC conference in Sydney tomorrow. We'll give you one.
I know where it came from.
Hey, you know where it came from? Yeah, you've got connections. Not everybody does. Tomorrow's going to be an amazing day. The conference is very, very cool. Heaps of great speakers. And then tomorrow night is the big sort of gala dinner thing. That'll be good fun. They always are. And then on Sunday is when I've got the Battleground Live session. It's not a playing of Battleground Melbourne. I've actually got myself and 3 others, one of whom is in Battleground Melbourne and 2 of whom don't really appear very much at all. And they weren't interviewed for Battleground Melbourne. And the 4 of us on stage are kind of telling our stories, talking about stuff that didn't make it in to Battleground Melbourne. There was just too much stuff. And, you know, trying to tell 2 years worth of history in an hour and 40 minutes. There was just heaps of stuff that had to get cut. So this is kind of a live stage presentation along with a couple of snippets from the documentary and a couple of bits of video that didn't make it into the documentary. And just sort of each of us telling our stories over 45 minutes. And I was quite surprised when I saw the schedule come out. So I know the organizer of the conference, and he asked me to pull something together. And his brief, what he said to me was, you have to make people cry. And I went, okay, well, I know the right people with the right stories who have been through the right situations to do that. And I said, all right, but I need an hour. And you know, because you've got to get people into the room, into the mood, get them sort of empathizing and walk them through a bit of a journey to get them to that point. And he gave me 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. Yep. So we've made that work. That's not a problem. But then I looked at the schedule, and there are international guests who are only getting 15 minutes. The longest anyone else is getting, and this is a conference where Tony Abbott is speaking, Nigel Farage is speaking, Matt Schlapp is speaking, Zuby is speaking. Like, it's got that many international and Australian superstars. The most time anyone else got was a half hour. So now I'm sitting there going,
You
oh,
demand.
crap. Like, well, no, I'm like, oh crap, he's really invested a lot into this session. This had better go well. He's given me 45 minutes, but it's come together really well. I'm really happy with it. So everyone,
well, the Victorian police are very good at making people cry.
They are very good. Look, when I pitched Battleground Melbourne Live, that was what I called it. I said, can I do Battleground Melbourne Live for you? And he said, what's that? You're going to like bring up a bunch of Victoria police officers and unload them into the studio with batons and tear gas and just give people like a live in-person experience? Like, what's the plan? I said, look, I wish I could, but he didn't give me enough budget to fly that many people up and pay them overtime. So, you know, I'll do what I can, though.
If you tell them it was for free and they could do what they like, they'd probably come anyway.
True.
Are you doing a recording of that event?
It's being live streamed by Australian Digital Holdings. That's the new like online digital news platform with Alan Jones and a bunch of those guys. And they're actually live streaming the whole thing.
Wow.
So I assume you have to be a subscriber of theirs to see it. I don't actually know.
I think they've got their own app or something.
Yeah, ADH they've got their own app, and then they've got their website. And I assume you have to be a paid subscriber to get the live stream, but that's a lot cheaper than buying a ticket. So yeah, if you were that desperate, you could always subscribe to ADH and see it there. But there are still general entry tickets available to the conference. So you could always just, be a man and show up in person.
Then when that might be coming, he told me to come.
You'd get a free one of these.
Really? That's exciting.
I'll even let you have 2 free ones, Omar.
Ooh, now we talking.
By the way, I'm past halfway and I've still got my ash. I win.
Wow.
It's got a tang to it.
It's developed a tang. There was a comment here. Daniel, the ginger is lightened off for me, but there's a strong lime zest and hazelnut.
I like your palate, Daniel. I really do.
I reckon it's spot on.
Definitely. Not quite Cuban, but it's got that little sort of tribute to Cuban style, that tang.
There it is. There it goes.
All down his shirt, all down his pants.
Well, there goes the tux I was going to wear for tomorrow night.
See, look, the experienced one amongst us here dropped his ash perfectly in the ashtray.
And first, before anybody else.
Doesn't matter. I didn't drop it on my pants. I didn't drop it on my shirt. I didn't drop it on my tux.
Last time I checked, we didn't award points for accuracy with the ash. We just awarded points for how long you kept.
Well, there we go. We've got a new criteria on which to judge the ash competition.
What you're saying is, on one side we're going to have the bingo game, and on the flip side we're going to have a dartboard.
That's right.
Right, for you to aim the ash. Right. Okay. I get it.
There we go. That's an idea for an ashtray. Like, sort of have the target shooting circles with the different scores on it, and you go, yeah, that's a 10. There's a bullseye.
It's like what they do with urinals. They give you something to aim at in the middle. So
that's right. I think I'm almost getting a bit of a dry coffee note on the finish after you've exhaled. So like after I've exhaled, taken a swallow, just getting this reminiscent coffee flavor.
Okay. Not there yet. The hazelnut's definitely there. I think that is a flavor note for me. That's where I am. And
hazelnut is, I guess, is quite a common flavor that you get in coffee, especially if you drink black coffee. So that's probably where I'm making the.
Tim, don't know if anyone's told you this, but that's a really bad idea. Just FYI. Oh, he's lost it again.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, where's your accuracy now? Where's your ashtray now?
At least it's in one piece.
Always just looking for some excuse. All right. The people I have to work with, I tell you. Yeah, this could easily be a daytime breakfast. Flavor profile, the strength of it. I'm not detecting any nicotine at this point.
No.
It'll go so well with drinks that you want to be drinking in the morning or no later than mid-afternoon. How's it going with half a cup of cream there, Omar?
I was going to say that I was amused by your comment. You didn't have any nicotine in it. What the fuck you expect from that, dude? Just chill. Like, seriously. It's like a pinky thing and just chill out, dude.
Listen.
As if you had like 10 Churchills or something.
I'm going to have to get some of that liquid nicotine and put it in a cigar just so we can give it to Omar so he can get a nicotine hit.
Just so that he can feel something, you know? Yeah. Just so that he can feel something. It's like people that pop a breath mint and then drink, carbonated water or something just so they can feel something, you know?
Yeah.
Topher.
It is getting a bit hot to the nub, though, at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not quite there yet. I've got a bit more to go.
Where are you at, Omar?
I'm just about.
Yeah, about where I am.
Yeah.
It's been burning perfectly.
Yeah, it's been well. Mine got a little bit wonky, but self-corrected. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. I mean, a narrower ring gauge, you expect that. They are going to self-correct a little bit better, but Stuart, having Bunnahaven with your cigar, that'd be a nice pairing, actually. Bunnahaven, nice and light.
Bit of a vegetative note starting to come in now towards the nub.
And cedar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We got a very cedar-like tang. Cedar, vegetative tang.
Especially when you pass a little bit of it back over your olfactory. Yeah.
Yeah. Topher looked a bit lost.
No, I'm just realizing why Omar enjoys smoking in this particular spot so much, because we're in a warehouse and there's 8-meter high ceilings and 1, 2, 3, 5 layers of pallet racking, and I don't know how deep it goes. And I'm just looking at pallet after pallet, and I'm just realizing this is where you store your cigars, mate. That's quite a collection you've got. I didn't realize. This would last Omar for at least a week.
Yeah. That's that pallet there. That's Monday for Omar.
Monday, yeah.
Then that one next to it's Tuesday.
I can see it's written on there, yeah. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. I mean, that's 1 week, 2. Yeah, okay.
And
so
you can see all those empty spaces. See, that was last week. Omar came in, cleaned this out.
You don't have to. Obviously, that's where Omar's been. You can tell where he's been. Just look for the hole.
This has been a pleasant stick, boys.
Mm.
Very nice.
They say it's all about the company, but this has really proven that wrong. Actually, I've really enjoyed that.
It's almost a stick that you would have as a break between two cigars.
Well,
Omar, you said something funny.
didn't you hear my comment? This is your stick that you have when you walk out the door to the car. You finish the cigar that you've had for breakfast.
A cigar break.
One up, and you smoke this before you get to the car and light your next one up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like when you want to have a quick break from a cigar.
Yeah. So you have one of these.
Yeah.
Is it a cigar that you finished or a cigar that you're putting down and kind of come back to, though?
I don't think.
Oh man.
Oh, that's why I'm just double checking. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Tim. It's been good hanging out with you too, and Stuart. We should. What's the date today?
30th.
30th. Mark the 30th of September 2022 in your diary. And we have video proof that it happened. On this day,
Yes,
Omar made a joke that was funny.
he did.
Yeah. I was still waiting for yours.
I'll let the viewers be the judge of that, but I'm putting today in my diary.
I think I'm done with it.
Yeah, it's getting a bit hot for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have more self-control than you boys. I've got a bit more to go. Going to make our viewers suffer our company for a little bit longer.
The spice is actually starting to kick up a bit. It's a little bit cayenne-like now for me. Not a lot, but it's just got a little bit more burn to it now. You can actually feel the burn down the back of the throat a little bit.
Definitely the pepper that you were mentioning earlier. I'm starting to get that now. A bit of a hotter spice mix.
Well, we all know I'm always ahead of the curve.
Look, all I'm going to say is that Damo is a very sensitive soul with sensitive taste buds to match.
That's getting way too hot.
There we go. That's definitive from David Lionhelm. Nice little stick, reminds me of the Dos Hombre, which is a compliment coming from David. No nicotine too. So there you go.
It might even blister that burn.
Don't hurt yourself.
No.
Yeah. We need those golden hands to make all our coffee. To pick all our cigar packs, you know. So what's that for you? You're down to the finger burning stage in what, half hour since we lit?
Yeah,
We took our time lighting up, so it'd be about a half hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 30 minute stick, 35 if you've got a little bit of self-control. Yeah, if you can smoke like a real man. Well, I've had the pleasure of actually introducing 6 different people to cigars in the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Not that it was necessarily their first cigar.
Yep.
But it was their first proper cigar experience with a good cigar.
Yep.
Done right.
What sticks did you choose?
I didn't get to choose all of them.
Yep.
Some of them had organized their own sorts of things. But the Morning Stars were in there, the Perdomos. Actually, a lot of Perdomos they feature very heavily. When I'm looking for a good newbie stick, the Perdomos feature heavily. And I shared a leaf by Oscar with someone who, I had most of it, but they had a couple of puffs.
What was, which one was it? The Corojo, the Sumatra?
The Corojo. I was about to say not the Sumatra and not the
Connecticut,
not the Maduro. It was the Corojo. And yeah, they did all the right things, nice and slow on the draw. Enjoyed it. Yeah. So I'm doing my bit. I'm trying to grow the subscriber base. One
person at a time.
One person at a time, just evangelizing.
I would like to get someone on the show live for their first cigar.
Yeah, okay.
That
First
was-
ever.
First ever cigar.
Finding someone who's never smoked a cigar and is willing to come on would
I
actually
know.
be a challenge.
I know. But it would be really good to obviously go through it with them. And actually, it's always nice to actually get a fresh perspective on things. And to, I guess, as a veteran cigar smoker, and Omar couldn't even remember what it was like to have his first cigar. He's had that many. But yeah, just to get, a different person's perspective on it and just to relive that experience with them.
Could be a very short episode, though. I might just take the first puff, turn green.
That's true.
Throw up
We'd
in
have
the
to get
corner.
a good cigar.
Yeah, well, it'd have to be a good cigar, and you're still playing roulette with the person.
Yeah, you are.
You
Yep,
just, could go horribly wrong. Is all I'm
Could
saying.
do.
All I'm saying.
Well, look, the best advice that was given to me when I had my very first cigar, and I still remember it very clearly, was the guy said to me, "Give it 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Then, if after 10 minutes you
still
don't
puking in the
don't
corner.
want to, just sit it down,
Yeah.
and no more will be said."
Mhm.
And I got down to the finger burning stages on that cigar.
Yeah.
I never thought I would. I just thought, yeah, I'll probably get to 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
great conversation.
Yeah.
I was outdoors looking at the starry sky, good conversation.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I was all the way to the end. So
There you go. You got to introduce people the right way, though.
Yeah.
And make sure.
I only wish I remembered what that cigar was. I really do.
Yeah.
So,
You got to make sure they're not having their first cigar experience with something from a corner shop.
Yep.
That's one of the big mistakes. A lot of people smoke their first cigars at weddings, and people are just handing out stuff they bought from a corner shop. It's just, ugh.
My first cigar was Connecticut, now 460. That was really good.
That is a great first stick. That is an ideal first stick, the Ave Maria Immaculata.
gorgeous.
No.
Gorgeous stick. So smooth and mellow. And that particular Vitola is a very easy to smoke. It doesn't require a lot of babying or care or effort to smoke that one.
So Tim is channeling his inner redneck. Actually, in Tim's case, I'm going to say it's his outer redneck. Actually, it's not very inner. You know I love you, Tim.
Well, Tim, I'm just glad that a friend of mine who was a gunsmith took me out shooting. I was already into guns at that point, but he pulled out a 5.7 450 revolver. And he gave it to me with half charges, and that still nearly put me flat on my ass. And I'm just glad that was never the first gun I ever shot, because I don't think I'd shoot another gun after that experience. He offered to, if I wanted to have another go at it, and all try full factory loads, and I didn't. No, thank you. I've had enough.
Yeah, no. Well, you were kind enough. The very first day that we ever met, actually, we went shooting at a pistol range, and the instructor there took a bit of a shine to us and pulled out, I believe it was a 357.
Yep.
Am I remembering rightly?
Well, we had a few different guns there. We
had a few different guns, and
Yeah.
then at the end, he pulled that out. It wasn't sort of a normal part of the program, and he let me fire, I think it was 2 rounds, and into the concrete, and just it like I know a correct grip. I know how to hold a pistol. I was two-handed with a 357. And I didn't hurt myself in any way, shape, or form, but 2 shots was enough. I was like, you know what? I'll leave that to people that want that, and I'll keep shooting my 9mm semi-automatics. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I'm quite okay with that.
I don't know what it is. It must be because I'm anticipating a bigger recoil.
Mm.
But when I shoot larger calibers, I'm more accurate than I am shooting the smaller calibers.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't know why that is, but it must be something I subconsciously do because I'm expecting a bigger recoil or something. I don't know.
I have a massive soft spot for the Steyr. I obviously trained with it when I was at reserves.
See, I don't like the Steyr.
No?
Yeah, I
Is it the bullpup configuration, or is it the plastic on it?
The plastic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It just feels too much like a toy.
No, I didn't mind it. Did not mind it.
I'm old school. I like wood. I don't like synthetic stocks.
Yeah,
I like.
No, I'm not with you on that at all.
I like a good bit of craftsmanship. You see, like plastics injected molded by a machine, a good wood stock that's been handmade. That shines
Look,
craftsmanship.
up on the wall.
Yep.
100%. For me to hump through the bush to go hunting with? No. Give me something lighter and smaller.
No,
than that,
no,
thank you very
no.
much.
See, the heavier the gun, the less recoil you get.
The less recoil you feel, but
Yeah.
you've still got to hump the thing up the hill and down the hill again and blah, blah,
Well, it's
blah.
still better than
you know?
having to hump the bloody deer all the way back to the car, I can tell you.
Sure.
I can vouch for that.
You'll get no argument from me on that point. No, every time since I've picked up, I've been to the US a couple of times, you pick up their AR, 15s and that sort of stuff. And you're just like, all the weight's out here. Like, it's not a lot of weight,
Yeah.
it's not heavy, but it's all out here.
Yep.
And if you don't have both hands on the weapon, you can't really control it properly. But
Yeah.
the Steyr, the weight's back behind your master hand. You can change your magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a nice weapon system. Now, I had the advantage, though. My first corporal was an armorer. And he literally there was 9 people in his section. He literally sat us all down and he said, forget everything that the manual tells you. I'm going to show you how to look after a Steyr and make it sing. And he was right. We went through them all, graphite pencil, putting graphite onto the right plate because you don't use oil to lube it. You use graphite. Put it in all the right places, cycling it all, blah, 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 getting it all spick and span. And I've loved it ever since. If I lived in the US, I would have a Steyr A3 at home.
If I lived in the US, I'd probably have one of everything.
Collect the whole set.
What do they say? True happiness is a belt-fed machine gun.
And not having to pay for the ammunition.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to call it. I'm down to the finger burning stage. I've dropped my ash again. Thank you very much.
What a lovely, lovely stick.
40 minutes.
Yep.
30 to 40 minutes out of such a modest-sized stick, not expensive. That's.
I thought what we'd also do with a smaller stick in this pack is buy people a bit of reprieve before we start getting into some of the
We've got some big sticks
coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. Look, Omar's going to get through that 6.5-inch stick without any trouble, but I do hold my concerns for some of our other smokers. David Leinhelm particularly. Yes. Whether he'll even make it to the band on that one.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I can't. They can't all be for everyone.
Yes.
That's got a bit of a punch. But then again, I mean, you look at what's that second last stick? The 1964.
Oh no, that's is that our last stick? I think the Padron is our last.
Padron, is that our last?
Yeah, I think Padron's our last.
Okay, I thought it was our second last, and then we had the Monster was our last one. I thought, but anyway.
No, the Southern Draw Ignite is our second last stick.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Yep.
All right.
And then that's on November 25th. And then 2nd of December, we're doing the Padron, which is a 6.5-inch stick as well. Yeah. Actually, sorry, I got it wrong. I said 6.5-inch. The Southern Draw is a 7.5-inch stick.
7.5, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's longer than a Churchill.
David, R.I.P. David Leinhelm. It was nice knowing you.
He might want to start on that one a couple of hours before the show. Put it down, have dinner, and then come back and finish it off.
Yeah, well, Simon sounds like he's looking forward to next week.
Yep. That's a decent stick as well, the Monte Cristo.
Beautiful stick.
Yeah, the Simon's right. And I'm actually really, as you know, I enjoy the Lanceros that we've had, the Lonsdales, but that next ring gauge up.
Yep.
But still in a nice long cigar is actually becoming one of my favorite Vitolas.
Well, that Padron we're smoking in the pack, the reason I chose that particular Padron is it's one of my favorites, and it's one that I always go back to. Like when I'm in the mood for Padron and I'm like, oh, do I want this one? Do I want that one? I automatically just go for that particular stick.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to put that one in the pack, just so people could get a feel for what I appreciate in Padron.
Mm.
It's a monster, Tim. I'm warning you. It's a monster.
Actually, the one thing I liked about the Southern Draw is every single pack of cigars that they make, if it's a box or even if it's a blister pack, they put a Boveda pack in with it.
Yeah, nice.
Every single pack.
Nice.
So
looking after people.
Yeah.
Good to see.
They're a much more expensive stick, but they take better care of their product. And the interesting thing is they're very selective on who they allow to handle their sticks too. Not every distributor is allowed to distribute their sticks. So,
all right. Interesting. Well, we got them.
We did.
We must be special.
I like to think I'm special.
Well, my school said I was special. So,
yes. Well, there we go.
David's asking the big questions here. Should I cut the southern drawing too? Twice the pleasure or half the vomiting. Let us know
Look,
how you go with that.
I won't hold it against you if you do.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would make two nubs.
Yes.
It's two nubs.
Yep.
3 3/4 inch.
I hope you got some of the perfect repair glue there, because when you cut in half, you probably just need to touch up the wrapper. But I'll leave that to
grab some of the spare tobacco from around the leaf by Oscar and just make yourself a cap.
Oh, okay. Yep. And glue it on.
New bit. Yeah, just glue that on. Yeah. That'll work. Well, tonight's been a pleasure. The cigar's been a pleasure. Short but sweet. And I've got a big weekend ahead of me, so I'm not going to stick around for a long one tonight. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining us. Stu, Tim, good to see you both on here. I'll see you tomorrow. Daniel, you'll be in Sydney tomorrow, but I won't see you. But you'll be seeing these fine gentlemen. And we will see all of you next week on The Cigar Professor. Thanks very much for watching.